Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to another Coldplay Extra Live episode. We're here today with Gabby from Coldplay Brazil and Miguel from Forum Coldplay. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you guys doing? Gabby, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Just a bit sick from the rain, but all going well here.
Okay, well, hope you feel better soon. There's a very good reason
Yeah.
why you're sick, and we're going to talk about that reason very, very soon. And Miguel, thank you for joining. How are you doing?
Oh no, I'm fantastic. I'm more after this incredible Rock in Rio concert, but I'm sick as well.
It's a well, just to clarify, I am not sick, so I think at least one of us is chugging along. But I will say thank you so much, guys, for like pushing through and like joining us and sharing your stories. I hope we all hope you feel better. And today's episode, obviously, today's stream is extremely special because we're going to be reviewing Rock in Rio with Gabby and Miguel, both of whom went to Rio, went to the festival, saw Coldplay live in the torrential rainfall that took place. So it's going to be a great episode. Chat, join in, tell me if you went to the show, tell me what your experiences were, if you watched it, what you thought. So I'm really, really excited to get into it. Before we get into the show, I just want to quickly say thank you to everyone who's been kind enough to support us recently, whether it's been subscribing on Twitch or buying us a coffee. It means the world, and you guys are our heroes, really. So thank you so much. It means we can continue doing what we do. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, ColdplayXtra does a lot of online community work for Coldplay communities. So you can support us by subscribing on Twitch. It's free if you're on Amazon Prime. You can just link the account. And if all of that sounds way too complicated, you can just buy us a coffee. All those links are in our socials as usual. And as always, we'll be donating 10% of those funds to environmental and sustainability initiatives. Um, so it means a lot to us. It means we can keep bringing you content like this. And yeah, let's just get going. I have so much I want to talk about with Rock in Rio. Let's get into it. Rock in Rio or Rain in Rio. Let's see what was the overarching theme here. But guys, how are y'all how are y'all feeling now? You've had a couple of days to come back down to earth. You're back a little bit sadly in the reality of real life, but the whole show felt so legendary and iconic. Miguel, I'll start with you. What are your like key like 2 3 takeaways from the incredible night on Saturday?
I remember that a little time before Coldplay went on stage, I remember that I was like, man, I never saw Chris Martin like Coldplay performing this torrential rain. I never saw it. I don't recall. Any concert that he played in such a rain. And I was like, man, will he be able to make the incredible performance that he always does? Even in the rain. And man, the dude just went like on stage, so confident. So energetic. And he transformed the rain. It was like the rain was like a prop to his concert. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh yeah, I ordered for that. I wanted to rain, of course." And
Yeah.
man, he was like faking the rain, and he was jumping. Everyone was jumping. It was like an experience that it was like so spontaneous and so special. Because you were feeling the same rain that Chris was feeling, and Chris was like, rubbing, the water from his shoulders, and it was awesome. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I think, a good word just to quickly describe it would be an out of body experience. Gabby, would you agree with that? Like, it felt surreal in terms of how good the show was.
Yeah, definitely. It's my fourth time seeing them live, but it was really special, especially because I became a fan watching their last Rock in Rio concert in 2011. So, like, to be there after 12 years, it really felt like Miguel just said, like
Yeah.
unreal, like it felt unreal. And the crowd is absolutely like different because when we are like watching a solo concert, it's of course like way smaller, But in Rock in Rio, like everyone there is with this festival energy, you know. So like everyone who was
Yeah.
watching Coldplay, we were under the rain for more than 5 hours straight, like nonstop. So yeah, like even though we were so tired, my feet were hurting so much. We had the energy, and I jumped. You know, I didn't even. There was some point that I couldn't even feel the rain. Actually, I saw like
Oh
Chris
yeah.
walking, and it was raining, but I was not feeling it on myself, which is crazy.
No, that's actually amazing because whenever we talk about shows here on Copa Extra Life, I always say to everyone is that no matter what happens at the end of the day, pain, the rain, the ticket
Yeah,
prices, the traffic, it all is worth it when the show starts. It's all worth it. It
yeah.
all makes sense. So Gabby, it's so nice to have you here on the show, representing Copa Brazil, obviously. So why don't you set the scene for everyone here and tell us exactly what this festival and Coldplay's return to Brazil means for Brazilian fans and like the entire continent?
Yeah, well, of course, like I think like here everyone expects Coldplay to be back. I feel like nowadays we are still getting used, you know, by the fact they are coming here because, you know, like Miley Cyrus tour, they were not here, so we were like with a giant gap, they didn't come here. So like I feel that everyone just wants them to be here. So of course after the live in São Paulo, which was a huge gift to all the Brazilians, everyone was so excited. But I have this feeling like after the Rock in Rio 2011, everyone that didn't go, they wanted to experience that. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to experience that because it's different. Like it's a festival. It's something that will be broadcast like worldwide, you know? So I feel like especially being there on Coldplay Brazil, when we announced that they would be here back to Rock in Rio, everyone went crazy, you know, because even before Coldplay was announced, people always expect them to come, you know. So everyone's like, "Hey, I want Coldplay on Rock in Rio. I want them in a festival." So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really crazy, and I guess this return it's just important for us, but it really marks this Rock in Rio 2011 phase because many fans like they became fans because of the last Rock in Rio. So this one was really really special.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think not only fans in Brazil and maybe South America who watched Rock in Rio 2011 became fans of Coldplay, but even fans outside of
Yeah.
the continent because the show was now available on YouTube and it was one of the best quality shows, like video and audio wise, and obviously the
Yeah.
crowd is sensational. Yeah, it was so huge that they were back. I know that every time there's a Rock in Rio announcement before this year, it's always been like Coldplay might come back, Coldplay might come back, but they saved
Yeah.
themselves. Um,
Yeah, it took
yeah,
12 years
it
so
took a
they
long
came
time,
back.
but they came back. Miguel, you're from Forum Coldplay, another great fan site. How did you prepare for both Coldplay and the youth festival in Rock in Rio? What did you do in the days before to like prepare for the show?
I mean, I remember that I was trying to do the most light uh, travel. I mean, I could do. I mean, I did not take any backpack, just a phone, a charger, my wallet, and that's it. I mean, it was like in the clothes that I had on my body. I mean, and I did not expect it to rain so bad. So I was wet through the entire trip, but it was so worth it because I remember I was like after 15 hours of a bus travel, and I was like exhausted, and I was like, oh my god, I'm coming to Rock and Rio. I was like on a Uber, I was like on a Uber heading to the festival, like a huge traffic. I mean, everyone was stopping. You see all those Rock and Rio posters. You see Coldplay on the radio. I was like, oh my god, I'm really here.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the most unexpected thing happened. I mean, the Uber, the gas, I mean, it was empty. When he had to stop at a gas station, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, are you in a hurry? Run, man, run!" And he pointed at some people going to the festival, and then he said, "Go in that direction." I mean, they are heading to the festival. So I was running, running. Oh my god, it was intense. And I mean, on the queue, I mean, to enter to Rock in Rio, I met, I mean, Mariana from Coldplay. I mean, João Vitor. I mean, Larissa. I mean, everyone was so lovely to me. I mean, I only knew them from the internet, and it was amazing. And yeah, we even participated on like a global. Global is like our main uh, our main channel here in Brazil. I mean, and we participated on this huge. How can I say? Report. I mean, a huge thing about Coldplay, and they were
Right.
talking about Johnny's anniversary, and it was awesome. So, I mean, I owe Coldplay for the best trip of my life.
No, we will get to Johnny's birthday and the celebrations around it because I know that was extremely special. I know a lot of people worked very, very hard for it. But Gabby, just one last thing before I, get into the specifics of the show itself. What is, what drives the love for Brazilian fans and crowds for Coldplay? Because I feel like that's on another level compared to any other Western artist nowadays. Like Coldplay brings out so much love and energy. What,
Yeah.
if you can describe it very quickly, what kind of helps bring that kind of love and energy out there?
Well, I think everyone loves Coldplay. Like, even if they don't know who is Coldplay, they know a song.
Yeah.
So, like, here, it's really funny because, like, in Brazil, we do have lots of soap operas on TV. And many people know Coldplay because of them. So, like, there's always a Coldplay song into a soap opera. So, like,
Awesome.
everyone knows those popular songs such as Viva La Vida, Paradise, Charlie
Mm-hmm.
Brown. So like everyone likes them, even if they don't know who they are. But I feel once they see how they put on their show, like their concert, everyone is like, and that's not only in Brazil, right? It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Like
Yeah.
everyone is, wow, what do they do? It's insane what they do. So like I feel this love, it comes from long, long time already because like really, I know like soap operas from 2007 that use Coldplay's music. So like I feel everyone knows them here for a long time. And Brazil, and I can talk for the whole Latin America. Years ago, it was actually a bit harder to get the artists to come here. If they came, we would be like the last ones to that they would come to visit. But nowadays, that's changing. So I feel even the artists nowadays they value a lot their Latin American fans.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel Coldplay has been doing that. They started a Head Full of Dreams tour with us. They ended it with us. So like I feel that has like as a band they have so much credibility because of that. Like
Yeah.
they bring so much love, and the way that they are a band that like they just don't put on a show for them, but they do that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So like the people that were watching Rock in Rio, I have friends that texted me after and they said, "Now I know why you are their fan. I know why you're obsessed with them." So like I guess that's how we have all this love for them because we really see the effort they put into a concert.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so well said. Absolutely. I think you get that kind of reception. We've been getting that kind of reception on the store with them going all TikTok famous as well. And people, I've
Yeah.
I've had random friends send me TikToks or like Instagram reels whenever they show up 2 weeks after, saying, "Oh, have you seen Coldplay did this?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I've seen that Coldplay did that."
Yeah,
But
I saw it first.
but yeah, but I know what it's all about, and it makes so much sense. One last thing before I go on to the show itself. Even Ian took a friend to a show in Europe as well, who had not like seen the show and kind of knew some of their songs. I remember Ian telling me later saying that his friend asked him like, "Hey, can we go to the show tomorrow as well?" Even though they were supposed to go back, and he was like, "You go, I'll stay and like figure out a ticket. I want to go and see this again and again." So completely understandable.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's get into the show. Some lots and lots and lots of special moments. Um, but Miguel and Gabby, you both talked about this, but we have to talk about the rain because rain and Coldplay have a very special relationship. Whenever there is rain, it brings out a new form of energy in the band, and not just in terms of like more energy for the songs, but there's a lot of love, camaraderie. The band is getting wet, all the instruments are going haywire. It's it's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. So Miguel, why don't you set the scene? When did the rain start? How long did it go for? How heavy was it? Really?
I mean, I remember that. I mean, he had some predictions that it would rain, but it was not 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I mean, just the clothes I had in my body. I mean, that's it. I'm ready. But I mean, anyone, even Nostradamus, anyone couldn't like, I mean, predict this apocalyptic rain that happened. And I thought, I mean, I remember that like it was like 5 hours of rain, right? It gotta be, I mean, 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
It was really, really intense. It was like pouring rain, and I was
Yeah.
really worried. I mean, I never saw Coldplay performing on the rain. I mean, on that rain, and I was like, oh my god, maybe they're gonna reduce the show, reduce the concert, something's gonna happen. And I mean, I was so wrong, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy that was so wrong. They did amazing. It was
Yeah, yeah, and
awesome.
I felt actually the rain, it got even like it started raining like 5 hours before their concert, but it was fine. Then sometimes it stopped, it came back. But then it was close to their concert, it was heavier. It was
Mm-hmm.
so strong and it never stopped. And I was also like, please stop it. But like I feel when they entered the stage, it was even heavier, right,
Yeah.
Miguel?
Yeah, their stage was a pool. I saw.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. I watched the show today. I was traveling and I was with family. I wasn't able to watch it live. But obviously, saw everyone's reaction online. Saw some clips here and there, and was finally able to sit down and watch the whole show today. And I remember on the stage when Chris or the band are just walking, just puddles of water there. I had no idea how they didn't
Yeah.
like slip and fall many times running around.
I was scared of that. I was
Yeah.
scared that Chris would fall
Yeah,
because we know he runs and he's crazy, and then I was so scared he would fall.
Oh my God. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I remember that before the concert. I mean, it was like midnight. I mean, they were said like to go like 10 minutes, and some Rock and Rio workers came like with a lot of towels. I was like first row, came with a lot of towels and tried to dry the floor. I mean, like desperately, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
And then
they were
it
trying
was
to
like raining
dry.
even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
remember this guy. I mean, like drenching the towel. I mean, so many times, and like the same quantity of water dropping. I was like, oh my god, man! I don't know what's gonna happen, but
Absolutely.
I mean, I, I don't know, man. Chris Martin. I mean, he transformed everything. I mean, he made like he ordered. I mean, it was
Hmm. He made the best of it.
awesome.
We've had a couple of really nice comments here from Sophie. Hey, Sophie. The rain, she says that the rain was booked by the band because we got used to the Xylo bands by now, which, I mean, I think that's true. And she also said that the rain gave us bucket hat play, which will forever be iconic.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
true. But lots of great moments. Obviously, Chicago 2016 when the band was playing there, huge thunderstorm that really did stop the show, and then they just ended it with Sky Full of Stars. But anytime there's rain in Coldplay, even this time in Philadelphia, we've had it in Wembley. That concert was amazing as well. So I think now on because after seeing all of this, I really feel like I might hate myself for this a little bit afterwards, but I really want to go watch a show Coldplay show in the rain. It
Yeah,
might
prepare
not.
your medicines and then
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'll take 1 week off because I'll probably get sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. But speaking of the rain, I think even without the rain, Rock in Rio has amazing crowds, and I was stunned by how loud everyone was, and I think that was a big part of how much love Chris felt and how he was able to give it back. Like the fact that I think when they got to Viva La Vida, he realized that this is something special is happening today. That's why he played it again because he just wanted to experience that energy again. But in terms of your experiences, Gabby, I know you were saying that obviously you were standing all day, so your feet were hurting and everything. But how did the crowd around you and the whole noise kind of energize you? Could you actually hear the crowd? Because sometimes on the
Yeah.
broadcast it was louder than the actual band.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, like I felt like everyone was really energetic when the concert started because everyone who was there standing all day, they were supposed like they wanted to see Coldplay. So I love other concerts as well, but it was fun because like when I was watching the concert, I don't know, Camila Cabello, I heard people singing because there were her fans there as well. But when Coldplay started, literally everyone was singing,
Yeah.
and I was actually surprised because like people really knew the new songs,
Hmm.
even though it's been out for a while. Like everyone knew all the songs, and yeah, like it's funny because when the show started I really heard everyone singing, so I was like, oh, okay, everyone here is a Coldplay fan, like everyone listens to their songs. So yeah, so that was pretty fun. Again, as I've said, there was a point, like I think by something just like this, I just couldn't feel the rain anymore, like it didn't matter. And yeah, like even with paying and everything, people just kept jumping. But I didn't have an idea of how I watched the videos after, and I was in shock. For
Hmm.
example, the happy birthday, I heard everyone around me singing, but when I actually saw the live stream, I was in shock. Like, wow, we were really loud. So I felt, again, as you said, there were parts that like it's something that really marked me is when Chris was like they started playing Yellow and he just turned the microphone to us and he
Yeah.
didn't sing it. And that's when I thought, okay, we're probably really loud. So that's why he did it.
That yellow moment reminded me of Glastonbury 2002,
Yeah,
when the whole
2002. Yeah,
crowd sang like half the song for him.
yeah,
Absolutely amazing. I saw a comment here from Missy Haley asking, did the rain break the piano during the scientist? Which is great timing because that was going to be my next question, Miguel. Uh, on the broadcast, obviously, there were some times when Chris's mic wasn't really plugged into the TV. I'm sure it was fine there. But were there any microphone or piano issues because of the rain, etc., etc.? I know the scientist there was that moment, but other than that, was there anything a major technical difficulty?
I mean, I don't remember because I remember that there was this one time that Chris was gonna play the piano and he started looking at like some employees. I mean, some people. Oh, it stopped working. I mean, but he was so like, I mean, on his own game. I mean, he was like, I'm gonna win this, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, he won over the crowd so many times. I mean, I think everyone there. I mean, of course, I mean, Coldplay on tours. I mean, I love I have Coldplay tour. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, the music of the Spheres tour. I mean, is even more awesome. But when you see Coldplay at a festival like on Glastonbury, on Rock in Rio, it's like they are a different persona almost. I mean, because they're not like following this exact script. There's like the godfather of concerts, you know. I mean, Coldplay is amazing, but when you see them at like a festival, I think it's different, right? Because they're like so spontaneous. They're like, oh, this doesn't work. I don't care, you know. Let's go to the next one.
yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go with the flow. Go with the flow. It's so important. Um, and
definitely.
and and I mentioned this earlier as well, but they performed Viva La Vida twice. Um, Gabby, if you can, what kind of happened there? Because obviously they didn't play Charlie Brown this time, which is on their usual set list, but you got Viva La
Yeah.
Vida twice. Was it that incredible that you were like, okay, it's okay, let's do it again, let's try again?
I had no idea what happened because like when he said, "Oh, okay, let's do it again," I thought he would do only like the last part, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everyone was loud. But then they started
Yeah.
all over again, and then everyone was like, "Oh, okay, let's do it all over again." But I believe it was because it was one of the songs that like everywhere in the world it's an insane song to be played live.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think the way especially Chris felt that the crowd was the reason he said let's do it again. And it's
Mm.
funny because like I saw Will and he was like with the face, oh, okay, let's do it all over again, Chris is asking me to do it all over again. But yeah, I feel like it came especially from Chris to do
Yeah,
that. Like
it's
he sat like and he started looking everyone and he said let's do it again. It's like he loved that.
yeah, it was completely spontaneous, and it's so funny for Will because that is the most physically demanding song that he has to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work,
For him,
and the guy
yeah,
when
like I need to do it again.
you could see he was already back at his drum kit, and he was like, "Huh? Really? One more?" Okay, I guess let's do it
Yeah,
again.
they just came back and said, okay, here we go
Yeah.
again.
But I remember I was just looking at things online. I wasn't able to watch it live, but I saw the reaction online too, and nobody was really complaining. Everyone was like, I think there was a special energy that was even being felt through the broadcast. They were like, yeah, you know what, this seems right. Let's do it again. It's Coldplay's anthem. Um,
Yeah.
so let's do it again. They also played Magic in Portuguese. This is something Rodrigo in our last stream said would happen. I had my doubts. I thought they would do something else, but he was very confident it would happen, and his clowning worked. So good job, Rodrigo. But Miguel, how did Magic in Portuguese translate? Was it fun? Everyone enjoyed it, or were people were like laughing a little
Oh,
bit?
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, it was so cathartic. I mean, because everyone was like, "Oh my God!" They did the effort to learn all the words in
Yeah.
Portuguese. I mean, you saw all the festival like going like on madness. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
everyone was like so proud of them for doing that. They were not like, "Oh, this is like a random place that I'm playing in." They were like aware that they were like in Brazil and they were making like something cool for us. And I mean, I remember that everyone was screaming loud. I mean, I remember some people like trying to guess what the translation would be. I mean, yeah, he
Yeah, we
will
were
say
singing that.
acreditar, yeah, so it was really cool, man. Really, really cool.
It's really, really good. Which means if it was such a big success, I think they'll probably try and do that again. Who knows? They might try and do
Yeah,
that again in the other shows in Sao Paulo and Rio.
definitely.
But
Yeah.
Gabby, we have to talk about what happened immediately after Magic, which was Johnny's birthday after midnight, obviously, and there was a lot of, I believe there was some coordination among you, the Coldplay Brazil, and some fan sites on behind the scenes stuff about making sure that there was like a tiny bit of happy birthday being sung to Johnny. Like, how did that whole thing come about? What happened? What was the
Yeah,
story?
so yeah, we had this idea to do something special for Rock in Rio, which was a flash mob. And we knew that it would be his birthday because the concert would start actually at midnight, so it was the 11th September. And then like the fan clubs we came up, Fórum Coldplay, Coldplay Brazil, Viva Coldplay, and Portal Coldplay. We were all together focusing in launching this flash mob. But it was just like something that we wanted to do,
Yeah.
like it was nothing too big, but we wanted it to happen. But then I saw that people were actually getting engaged with that. Like everyone was printing the paper, with "Happy
Mm-hmm.
Birthday, Johnny." But then I felt like maybe we can like get them involved because I felt like they would actually want to do a surprise as well for
Yeah.
Johnny. And then I decided to talk to Phil, and we talked, and I said to him like, "Hey, us the fan clubs were planning to do that. What are your thoughts?" And then he was like, "Yeah, let's see that. Let's see how it goes." And then the band itself found that it was an amazing idea, but they asked us to adjust. So like initially it was supposed to be after Yellow,
Mm-hmm.
but then they asked us to be after Magic because it would suit better the
Yeah.
set list. So I didn't know the set list because people were, "Oh, you know the set list now," but no, I didn't. They just said after Magic. And then that's when I texted Forum, Viva La Vida, Viva Coldplay, and Portal Coldplay, and I was like, "Guys, we need to make it happen because like they know about that. They want it to happen. They want it to be in Portuguese. Chris wanted to be in Portuguese. So we need to make it like 2 days before Rock in Rio. We need to make this big, and it was insane. Like we needed to post, and like I was actually telling everyone about this, like let's do this, let's do after Magic, they know about it, let's do this for them. And then just like Miguel said, we started telling everyone. We are like really big fan clubs here in Brazil, so we got like an amazing number of people seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I woke up the next day, I saw that Globo as well. They made an article talking about this flash mob, and we were like, "What?" So like some journalists and everyone was retweeting, and then that's it. In the line Forum Coldplay, they made an interview that was live. to a national channel that is really popular.
Hmm.
After that, Coldplay Brazil as well. Victoria was there. She's one of our team members, and we were with a few friends from Coldplay Brazil. So they also did a second live to Multishow, the channel that broadcasts the concert. So like everyone knew, we were on the TV, on articles, like everywhere. And then I was feeling anxious. I felt a bit of pressure because like, well, Phil is expecting us to sing. What if people don't sing, you know? So when we were there, I made sure I told everyone and my friends as well. We were like, hey, do you know about the happy birthday? And people were like, yes, yes, I know it's after magic. Yeah, pass this word. And like everyone knew. So yeah, like I'm super proud. Me and the fan clubs were super happy because people actually followed the idea. They loved the idea, and I'm pretty sure by the fact the band wanted this as well,
Hmm.
it worked. But yeah, in the end, I think only Chris knew because you've watched Will. He was
Yeah.
leaving the stage, and then he was like, "No, no, no, come back, come back."
Wait.
But yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, firstly, from on behalf of all the rest of us, thank you so much for doing that. That's amazing. That you were able to send
Yeah,
out so much love to Johnny on his birthday. Um,
definitely.
means a lot to all of us, and obviously it was so loud. Everyone was singing so loudly. So great job, guys. And this is why people like Copa Brazil and Viva Coldplay and Forum Coldplay and all the fan pages, all the fan websites have put in so much work. So really, really appreciate it, and obviously Phil and the band for helping
Yeah.
make that happen. Um, I got a quick question here on the chat, Miguel. Did the red hats that they were wearing, did they have any meaning, or was it just some fun hats that Chris
Oh,
wanted to wear?
I mean, it's like from the official sponsor for Rock and Rio. I mean, it's like a bank
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
called Itaú. They
It was a bank and
did not
store.
know that.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Yeah.
Americanas as well, right? Yeah, it was a bank and a department store here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I mean, so they received it and they wore. It was the best thing to ever happen to that department store ever. That that
the sales for those hats is going to be insane now. Absolutely.
Yeah, the
yeah.
marketing team is absolutely happy for sure.
So happy. This might become like a thing in upcoming shows where all the companies start making cool, funky merch to give to fans in the front row so that they can give it to the band and get free
Yeah.
advertising. Please don't do that. But I can see that happening. But that's so cool. I think everyone loved it. It was so wholesome. That whole B stage moment and interaction, everything was extremely extremely wholesome. So it was very very well done.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Um, okay, uh, Miguel, tell us about "Fix You in the Rain." "Fix You in the Rain" is like a life goal,
Oh,
regardless of which location you're in. Songs like "Scientist" and "Fix You," but especially "Fix You" is incredible. And one lucky fan got a really nice long hug in the middle of the song as well. So how did that whole song feel? What was that moment like? Tell us how it was.
I mean, Coldplay has these moments on the concert that is like they're like full of energy. You know, it's like Charlie Brown step of stars. You're jumping up and high. I mean, you're like having the time of our life. And then at the same time they have like this more like spiritual music like fix you that really touches you and everyone like puts
Yeah.
their hand to the sky and cries. You know, it's like a really strange because I can't think of any other band that can have that energy so high and the energy so intimate as well, you know. And I remember that the guy that was hugged was really next to me because I was like on this first row, and
Mm-hmm.
he had like yeah, you know the stage, and he was like here. And
Right.
I remember Chris coming down, and man, when he hugged the guy, man, it was so emotional. Man.
So
It was
emotional.
like it was destiny. I mean, I don't know who he is, but he was like so happy. I mean, he was like the entire concert. I mean, like I mean, almost
I hope he's alive.
scared of. Yeah, yeah, man. And I saw his friend. I mean, he was like congratulating him, and he was like with tears in his eyes. was like so beautiful. I mean, it was like almost like Chris gets that there's something happening in your life. You know, it's so cool.
Yeah, he could sense that a hug would help at that moment. And I think
Yeah,
I think it was obviously a hug to that one fan, but it also kind of was like a hug to everyone else, as much as possible, really. Um,
Yeah.
but it was absolutely it was so wholesome. The whole show felt so wholesome in so many ways, and obviously very emotional and energetic. But I wanna talk about this is for both of you guys your first show on this tour. So this is your first time experiencing these songs. So I gotta ask my classic questions I've been asking everyone else. Gabby, I'll start with you. What were your top three favorite songs in the whole show?
Humankind, I was expecting a lot. Like, I wanted to see it live, so it was absolutely amazing. I have to admit, like, I was a bit tired of listening to Higher Power because, like, I listened to it so much that I was tired. But I don't know if it was because it's the first song, it's the first moment you see them. It was really special to me as well. And I would say I Sky Full of Stars in Rock in Rio, especially. Like, I saw it live already, but there, the energy, people jumping, like it was so good, especially after he stopped and said, "Guys, no phone, no cameras," in Portuguese. People really got, the feeling and the energy. So that was amazing. Like,
Absolutely. I think my favorite from the broadcast, my two favorite moments of Chris's frontmanship kind of come in Humankind and Skyflow Stars. In Humankind, the way he gets everyone to sing "I know, I know, I know." I know he
yeah,
does that every show. I know he does that, but there was such a connection with the fans that they all sang it so loudly, and then the transition
yeah,
into the song was beautiful. And then obviously in Sky Full of Stars, um, just the moment he started the song again, and he started singing like uh, phones in the pocket, hands in the sky, and then the way he started doing that and got into the song. I remember, again, as I was watching it today, I just got goosebumps, and it was like early. It was like 11 a.m. in the morning, so I was like, oh my god, this is insane. Um, but abs, they love that song too. Chris talked about it too. Absolutely love and playing Sky Full of Stars right now and how fun it is. Miguel, what about you? Your top three favorite songs in the show, and they can be the same ones too, if you want.
I mean, I remember that Chris went on stage, and I remember he was like so confident on higher power. I mean, even on the rain, even with all the conditions that, I mean, he could be worried. I mean, he was like the most confident I ever see him. He was like so powerful, and man, when Adventure Lifetime, I mean, just kick it in. I mean, you see the energy. You see like 100,000 people jumping. I
Mm.
mean, I think not even on live in São Paulo, right, Gabi? People jumped on
yeah.
Adventure Lifetime, like the whole song, right? And they were like so intense jumping. I mean, I was like, I'm really living something special here, you know. This, I mean, it was like out of this world, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And for me, another moment, even talking, I mean, what Gabi said, I mean, a Skyfall Star was like so special, so special. And I even appeared on the broadcasting on the
Oh shit!
on Skyfall Stars. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
I mean,
saw
I
that.
remember I remember that when like the camera came and it was like filming, you know, and I was jumping, you know, and then my whole family started testing me, you know, texting me like, "Oh Miguel, oh my god!" It was like my grandma, my mother, my dad, everyone. Oh, it was awesome, man.
Oh my
It was
god.
like a really special moment.
Oh my god. That's
I don't know if
amazing.
I can top that. I had the high of my life at 21 years old.
You no, that's always special when you end up on national TV and your whole family's kind of watching. I
Yeah.
because for all fans, if they end up on the big screen in itself is like such a big deal. But imagine also ending up on TV. That's because that's encased forever, Miguel. Everyone's gonna people are gonna watch this show again and again. I watched it today and I feel like watching it again after this stream. I can't. I have sadly I gotta go and do things, but I will watch this show again. So that's amazing, absolutely amazing. Um, I wanna talk a little bit about what this show kind of now means for the band and the country itself. Obviously, the expectations were so sky high for Coldplay and Rock in Rio, and generally for Coldplay, the expectations are always sky high nowadays because of the reputation they have. Um, but in how the show kind of went about, and there were over a million tweets about the band, about Coldplay. They were every single Coldplay related thing, a song or Chris or whatever, were like top 10 trending in Brazil. Multiple top 20 entries in like trending, overwhelmingly positive response. Rafa, who's on our team, said that now everyone in Brazil is a Coldplay fan, so getting a ticket is somehow going to get even more difficult than it used to be. But Gabby, how would you say the reaction in the whole country has been post that show? Is now everyone really a Coldplay fan?
Yeah, the regarding like expectation, everyone was expecting it to be the biggest show, that's for sure. They were the second one to be sold out in minutes. So yeah, like everyone wanted to watch them. Again, not only fans, but people that like them and like their songs, they wanted to experience that. But like in the reality, it was even more. First of all, I guess because of the rain, because no one expected. Sometimes the rain really like makes things go a bit slower or reduced, like Miguel said, but
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. Like nothing changed. Like I think the rain just made it even more beautiful.
Yeah.
Not for us who are sick for sure, but at least the picture and the like from watched from home, it was amazing. But yeah, of course, everyone who's watched it or like people that went for the first time. I know some people that never have watched them before, so they went to Rock in Rio to see them. Everyone was in shock, and I get that because when I saw them for the first time, of course we watch DVDs and we watch live streams, but when we are there, it's a different energy. Like when we see everything happening, we're like,
Right.
wow, this is really real, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I feel like Brazilians felt, and everyone, like I saw really famous people. I was in a site that the VIP were actually in front of me. So I saw many people from TV and they were there like jumping and super happy. So yeah, like I feel they really made everyone love them. Like not only their fans, but people that never heard of them or people that never saw their concert. Famous people, like everyone, literally.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Online, I think the reaction kind of blew everyone away. It blew everyone away.
Yeah.
The amount of, for instance, that zip lining video. For firstly, that's a stunning video right
Yeah.
there from Stevie, who's doing an excellent
Yeah.
job on this tour.
And
But
the crowd was so loud in
it's
this
so
video. It's
loud.
insane.
It's so loud. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And the number of likes and retweets and just the general views and reactions they've got on just that one clip
Hmm.
can just show you how much this kind of meant for everyone. Um, Miguel, you said something very interesting before we started the stream. You said that you had one ticket to Sao Paulo, but you're planning on selling it because the show was so good that you don't want to go to another one. Explain that logic to me.
Yeah,
I'm struggling here.
yeah. I mean, I remember that like the live in São Paulo on 2017 was really important to me because it was like the last show of the last concert of my high school days. So like my mom and I were crying on the car on the road trip because I'm not from São Paulo, and we had this
Hmm.
whole road trip and we're like crying, listening to Up and Up. It was like so special. And then this time in Rock in Rio, it was my first time traveling alone. I mean, to any place. It was like 15 hours on a bus. I mean, it was like a whole adventure. I
Hmm.
went on a Friday and come back on a Sunday. I did not have any sleep. It was like really intense. And I was like, after this magical experience, after this magical concert, I wanted to end up this way. I want this to be the end for now because I don't know if I can ever top that. I can't top Rock in Rio. I really can't. So I mean, I think for me that's it.
Okay.
I don't know, Gabi. Does that make any sense? I don't
Well, I don't plan on selling my tickets, but yeah, like I think it's it's hard for us to get over it. Like the post-concert depression is
Yeah,
real.
it's real. It's absolutely real. It's real for the band as well. They
Yeah.
also love that high that they get from performing. So Miguel, I'm not sure if I agree with you, but I can respect the decision. Absolutely. And also, I mean, Rock in Rio was very physically and mentally draining as well. So obviously, you need some time, you need a little bit of break.
Yeah,
But
to
I would,
recover.
my only advice is hold on to the ticket for a little bit. Maybe your mind might change in like 5 days. So we'll, we'll
Oh
see.
yeah, oh yeah. My mom
Yeah.
also said that.
Yeah. Gabby, what other shows are you going to?
I'm going to the 16th on a
Hmm.
Sunday, then the next week, 21st and 22nd. So it's cool because I'm gonna see like the first concert and then literally the last one. So yeah, I want to see like how that's gonna change. You know, if there's gonna be any changes on the set list. I mean, six concerts, right? That's a
Hmm.
lot. So yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to be the first and the last.
Yeah, absolutely. They might have one or two special songs. Also, because it's going to be their own show and not a festival, they'll play like a Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
they'll have a less pressure on it being televised, so it'll feel like a little bit more
yeah,
curated and everything. So it'll be fun. You'll have a lot of fun, and then you get to do all the bikes and all the fun parts as well if you want.
yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, my final question that I ask everyone, and I have to, it's like in my contract that I have to at this point,
My
this
God.
imaginary contract that I just came up with, is you both have experienced Head Full of Dreams. Now you've experienced a taste of Music of the Spheres World Tour. Miguel, I'll start with you. Which show do you prefer? Head Full of Dreams or Music of the Spheres?
Oh my God. I'm gonna be real. I mean, I don't know if I saw that Rock in Rio, that torrential hypnotic rain or something, but there was something else about that concert, right? I don't know, man. I'm putting like in perspective the live in São Paulo that I went and the Rock in Rio, but Rock in Rio was something else. I mean, there was something magical about that night. I don't know, Gabi, do you feel the same way? What do you
You're scared that you're thinking this alone, but no, you're not.
feel?
Definitely, Rock in Rio is amazing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, much better than Head Full of Dreams.
Like to me, it's different. I don't know. Like, I love a head full of drinks because I met them in person during
Hmm.
this era, so like it's really important for me. But this second era, it's my first era with Antoine, who's my husband. So like
Yes.
we married because of them. So like we watched our first concert together, and that means a lot.
Hmm.
Um, and also like we also have some plans on going to the next leg of the tour next year to Europe. So like I feel it's going to be a very special era because I'm gonna get like to meet my friends that are
Hmm.
all over the world, you know. So like for this reason, I feel it's going to be a really special one because I'm going to be able like to see and live it with so many important people in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so special. That's so special. And I'm sure there are so many people who want to see you around the world as well. So if you get to go, I know Sophie here is obviously active, and I see Antoine here in the chat as well. So I'm sure it'll be really really special. So guys, with that, I think I'm gonna wrap up this stream. Gabby and Miguel, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak with you, even though both of you are still recovering and need a little bit of rest. So go rest, recover for your life work that you do, your day-to-day work, and also the future shows if you're going to them. Chat, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, it's not just us who provide a lot of the content, but also the other fan sites. So definitely go check out Coldplay Brazil and Forum Coldplay on their socials. They also do great work for the community, especially in Latin America and Brazil. So go check them out. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you for giving me your time, and I'll
Thank you.
see you all next time around. All right, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.